said, jumping on in here, my man, we got the very first game on the board. Boise State taking on Penn State here in this one. Boise State coming in number 3. We don't even have to talk about that because I think me and you are both kind of laugh at that little number there. But with all that said, Penn State coming in an 11-point favorite. Boise State coming in off the break here, 52.5 on that total, guys. Very tough number here. Ian, I've seen a lot of people saying, well, Ashton Johnson's going to be pissed about that Heisman snub and all these other things, right? And he's going to come out and ball. Here's my problem, folks. He could go, hear me out, for 2 touchdowns and 200 yards, and they're going to lose this football game. I'm sorry, Ian. I got to go Penn State to win this game. This is not where I'm going to fire off my dog. But the big question is 11 points for Boise State. Are they going to cover that?
And I think that's where a lot of people are just still continuing to be fascinated with what happened back in 2007, and trying to relive that Fiesta Bowl magic from the Statue of Liberty play and the hook and ladder and everything from back in the Ian Zabransky days and the Ian Johnsons of the world. They're thinking that they're going to be able to duplicate that here against a very, very good team in Penn State. And I know Penn State, this is one of those teams where you've been dogging on them for the longest time. But respectfully, I think it's about time that they earn your respect, my good sir. Ooh. It's just going to be one of those times where I think they don't have to deal with Ohio State again. There's a good chance they may not have to worry about Ohio State again. They may have to worry about the Ducks, but, we'll get to the Rose Bowl here in just a little bit. We'll talk about that later. But I think a lot of people were right in saying that whoever got the 6 seed, just the way that this bracket broke down, they almost get to, in a way, coast their way into the semifinal. Now, I'm not going to say that Boise State's just going to lay down here for the Nittany Lions. There's just no way. I think Maddox Madsen is still a very fine quarterback. Obviously, Ashton Johnson finishing second in the Heisman. We know what he is able to do. But with Penn State, they've got a lot of great defenders, especially Abdul Carter, easily going to be a top 10 NFL draft pick there for the Nittany Lions. I think he alone is going to be enough of a problem. And the way I see it, I think this is going to be one of those games where Penn State, they're going to want to stack that box and almost dare Boise State to say, hey, yeah, you're a group of 5. Yeah, you got the first round bye, but what can you do against Big Ten power? And I just don't know if Boise State's front line can hold up against the Penn State defensive line here. I just don't know what we're going to see. And offensively for Penn State, I mean, we kind of saw it with what they did to SMU. I understand that this was a home game for them, but Drew Aller, he balled out. You've still got the two-headed monster in the backfield headed by Nick Singleton. And then you've got Tyler Warren, the number 1 tight end across the entire country. If they are all humming, I just don't see a world where Boise State can continue to keep up. But again, people want to hang on to what happened in 2007. I'm going to give them a little bit of a benefit of the doubt here. I will say that Boise State keeps it within 11, but as far as the seeding goes, this is going to be an upset. Penn State's going to easily roll their way into the semifinal.
So unfortunate because I just think Penn State is such a doesn't win the big game team. And unfortunately, guys, this isn't the big game. The big game's next week, right? This is not the big game. So I'm with you here. I have Penn State winning, but man, the 11 points for me.
It's steep. It's
very steep. It's very steep. So you know what? Give me the 11 points. I'm probably going to regret this damn thing by halftime, but that's okay. I'm going to take the 11 points here because this is a game where Boise State's coming in rested. Johnson's not only rested, but he's also coming off not winning the Heisman, which once again, one guy can't beat Penn State. Okay, that's not going to happen. They have to find a way defensively to shake things up here. They got to move the ball through the air and open up some things for Johnson. There's a lot of other factors that have to play in here. But I'll tell you what, coaching for coaching, I actually don't think it's that widespread here. I think Boise State's going to come with a few things for Penn State. Low key, I think Boise State knew Penn State was going to win last week. I think they've been preparing for Penn State now for 2 weeks. And so at this point here, I feel like right now Penn State is slightly behind the bubble, but there's also that whole shake off rust factor thing, right? That people say, oh, you take a week off, you're not really in the mode. That team was just coming off a huge home game. Their adrenaline's still pumping and you've just been sitting at home doing nothing, right? So there's also that. So I don't know what's going to happen, but what I do think is I got Boise State losing by about 7 to 10 points here in this game. And unfortunately, Penn State moves on, and I can't wait for next week because me and you are going to talk about how they're going to get murdered. But for now, we're going to go ahead and move on through here. But my man, really quickly, don't want to get too far into the over-unders because they're just so hard right now with the whole college football playoff thing. But do you think this is a game we can expect to be a bit lower scoring here, 52.5? I'm going to lean towards the under. Part of that is towards my 11 points that I'm taking to cover. But I just think that Jonty's going to run a lot. I could see Penn State getting up about 7 to 10 in this game and them running a lot as well. So I'm going to go under 52.5. Where are you going?
I'm going to go ahead and take the over in this one. And right now it's at even money. So I think it's like minus 110, whether you go over or under on this situation. I just have to wonder what Boise State's defense can do to stop the Penn State offense. I just don't know if we are going to see it because Boise State, yes, they only have one loss. It was to Oregon, but to give Oregon credit here, they were not the same Oregon that they are now. If you go ahead and replay that game now, I think Oregon absolutely cakewalk this, or they will cakewalk them. And Penn State, they actually kept it close with this Oregon team that's currently sitting as the number 1 seed. It's just, I just have so many more issues here trying to see where Boise State can do it. Again, it's been a fantastic story. Aston Genty, congratulations. You win all these awards. If it was any other year, you're probably winning the Heisman, but I mean, eventually the blue and orange hype train needs to be stopped, and I think it does end up getting stopped here. I think this one goes over. I'm still trying, again, Boise State, can you stop Penn State long enough? I just don't think it is going to happen. I think this is going to be more of a backdoor cover, last minute touchdown by Boise, and that's where they get the cover here. But I can easily see this, being like a 34-24 type of game here. I just think Penn State, I just think they're too strong across the board. I trust their defense a hell of a lot more than I trust Boise State's in these big time moments.
Final score projection, guys, just for fun, I'm going to go 35-24. Even though that puts me on a push here, I'm still leaning towards the 11 points here with Boise State. So good luck to everybody in that one. Ian on the over. I am on the under. I'm taking 11 points here. Good luck to you guys. Either way, though, is this the upset spot? We do not believe so. Good luck to everybody in this one.